Welcome back to this video. We will now go ahead and implement the booking of a specific flight. So open up your book flight component.ts, and you can also open up the book flight component.html, so the attached template. And you can see here, when you scroll a little bit down, that we got that booking here. Cart, book button, right, number of seats, and we will implement all of that so that we can really book a flight later on. Now switch back to the book flight component and we will start here. Again, we for sure need the form builder. So let's go ahead and import it. Import form builder from add Angular/forms. Now for sure go into the constructor, take it here, private form builder, or let's call it FB equals to form builder. You can see most of the stuff is really repetitive, right? So once you understand the core logic of Angular, you will see that you most of the time repeat always the same structure. It's the same for RESTful API development. If you have a new endpoint, you probably want to save something, read something, or delete something, right? Doesn't have to be a book flight, could also be a user, a hotel booking, just a product for your store or whatever. So most of the stuff in web development, is nearly always the same, but for sure that doesn't apply to algorithms. Now let's create a form here under flight. Form equals to this form builder dot group, and inside that we will create a new form, and we only have one single field inside there, and it's a number, and the default value is 1. So how many seats do you want to book for the flight, right? Now let's create a new method at the very bottom. Let's call it book, and that book method will simply write down a log for now. So console.log. Go ahead and write down booking this dot form dot get number. We need to check if it's null. If not, we take the value. Passengers for the flight. Let me just scroll over here for the flight. This dot flight dot ID. We got that here in this field, flight, right? And our form, we got that here, and we simply take the number. So yeah, that's a long line of code, so you can go ahead in the source code and check for book flight component and copy it if you like. Yeah, and well, inside of that string, we use our fields. Great, so let's save it. That's all we have to do here. So keep in mind that we now have a form inside of our component. Now we can switch back to our HTML. And here we don't have to do so many changes, right? Just a couple of them. First of all, let's go ahead and switch that div here to a form. First of all, let's create a new form tag. There we go. And let's copy everything inside so that it looks just like this. Now we can remove that break here. That's fine. So we got that form. And now we can go into the form tag and assign it. So form group equals to our form field inside of the component. And when we submit it, we want to hook it to run a method inside of our component. So ng submit, right? That's the hook, that's the event. In the moment where you click a button, that one here, which is of type submit, right? So if I click that button, the ng submit event will fire, and then we can simply go ahead and call a method inside of our component, which is book, which is right here. Now, go into the input field. Here we got the number, so how many flights or seats do you want to book? Gonna go ahead, form, control, name, and we bind it to number. So this is all we have to do for now. Let's start our application, see if we got that console log. When I search for flight and I click on book, I now for sure have to register. So let me quick do that. And then I click on login. When I search again, I can now book a flight. Here I got the number of seats. Let me write down 5 and then book. You can see booking 5 passengers for the flight D whatever, that good here. Right, okay, so the information of the form And also the GUID of the flight are looking perfectly, so that's very nice. And now we can go ahead and create an endpoint in our RESTful API to really receive the information that we will send from here.